to kill her. Many tried. But they must know by now that they cannot keep her down. So long as everyone does one simple act to bring her back from the throes of defeat. Believe. Believe in Tam Nakano. Whenever you need something to look for to believe, look toward the night sky. And there, a shooting star. Believe. Good evening, friends and creatures alike. This is Meerkat's Radio, grooving on the late night tunes, the songs for the lonely heart needing to believe. Now let's hop on Tam Road for a new chapter and begin this homage to several artists and films, from Quentin Tarantino to David Lynch to Wong Kar-wai. Starting with the classic from 2004.
Qué bonitos ojos tienes, debajo de esas dos cejas, debajo de esas dos cejas, qué bonitos ojos tienes. Ellos me quieren mirar, pero si tú no los dejas, ni siquiera parpadear. Malagueña, Salerosa. Tus labios quisiera, besar tus labios quisiera, malagueña salerosa, y decirte, niña hermosa, eres libre. ¡Yo soy la cadena!
Here in Nagoya International Conference Hall, world wondering stardom. This half-Italian, half-Japanese woman with the stylish hair and the mean mug is Giulia. Her code name is Dangerous Queen. The adorable one in the pretty outfit committing ultra-violence while remaining cute to everyone watching is Tam Nakano, the leader of Cosmic Angels. Her nickname is the top kawaii of the cosmos. And as soon as they see each other, it's always... Unceremoniously perhaps, a time limit draw would end this feud. This would be their last battle together. But it wasn't always this way. The Dangerous Queen Giulia split from her home promotion of Ice Ribbon and crossed the fog over into the world of stardom. Here, amongst the highest elite caliber of women, she led the dominant unit of warriors Donna Del Mondo, Maika, Himeka, Natsupoi, and Shuri. Her first statement was winning the Cinderella tournament from Natsuko Tora to face Arisa Hoshiki for their wondrous stardom. But tragedy struck when the one primed with the brightest future, the shining star, was forced to retire due to injuries. Giulia never got to face her. Arisa Hoshiki's legendary reign as the wondrous stardom was divine, but her friendship rivalry of one Tam Nakano was that of beauty. Starting bitter toward each other as a jealous Tam didn't want her in the stars unit she was a part of. Tam has abandonment issues, previously abandoned by the rebellious group of half-assers Oedo Tai. She doesn't want another to potentially replace her. But as time went on, the two would slowly form a bond, one of friendly rivalry, even battling for the wondrous stardom. Tam Nakano would often point to a highly suspicious shooting star that no one else was able to see, but herself. But she wasn't insane. We just didn't know it yet. You simply had to believe. When Arisa Hoshiki retired, Tam Nakano swore she would never team with anyone ever again. But the sudden dimming of the shining star left a void in the power of the white belt. Tam Nakano seemed like an appropriate choice to fill that void. So much emotion is tied to that white belt, it feeds off of it like a living entity would, almost a curse to wield. Tam treated it like a holy object, yet it was Giulia who forced herself onto Tam Road, blocking the cutest in the cosmos from achieving divinity. This was the start. They would fight again for the wondrous stardom with higher stakes. Their hair, a battle that had been a gateway for many into the world of stardom. Classic was their war, the pure passion and divinity of Tam Nakano shone ever so brightly, a lighthouse guiding the lost toward the world of stardom, a beacon of hope to be seen across the cosmos. Tam Nakano would defeat Giulia and become the wonder of stardom, taking Giulia's hair and strength away. Tam Nakano's very first defense would be against Donna Del Mondo's pet fairy, Nuts Boy, a cute fairy who goes. But it was through defeat that Boy made a promise to one day be as strong as Tam Nakano and defeat her. The top kawaii of the cosmos would defend the wondrous stardom 6 times before losing her 7th defense to a woman she brought into this world. Saya Kamitani, the Golden Phoenix, shattered her divinity in one fell strike. She would fly on her own journey, just like she always had, away from Tam Nakano, until their songs would inevitably cross once more. But first, the fairy would stuff pasta into Tam Nakano and fight her in a damn steel cage where she tried to kill Tam Nakano, but would die from being hung on top of the cage. But the next show, Nuts Boy sought revenge Poi against Tam Poi. She took 20 minutes, several phase changes, and several Fario gifts to annihilate her, and finally, through their combat, their violent, brief feud, Poi grew in such strength that she was able to defeat Tam Nakano. The battle brought them that much closer. But much like Romeo and Juliet, the war was still on between the Montagues and the Capulets. Cosmic Angels would go to war against Don Del Mondo in the infamous elimination match, where Natsuko would betray her leader Giulia and her friends in Himeka, Maika, and Tekla to join Cosmic Angels during their largest expansion yet. The betrayal of Natsuko sent shockwaves across stardom, affecting many emotions of several individuals. Giulia would harbor the betrayal and enter the 5-star Grand Prix with the strongest passion to win. As fate would have it, Giulia would get her revenge on Natsuko. She would face her own past and overcome it through an emotional, cathartic release. And finally, face her rival, Tam, in the finals. With all their history, all the hate harboring each of them toward each other, the battle was epic and violent. Passionate emotions fueled the arena, inspiring a new fan of stardom to want to become a wrestler herself. But glory wasn't for Tam Nakano that day, as Giulia overcame it all and was able to exact her revenge on Tam for everything. Giulia won the 5-star Grand Prix, and she used the victory to win the World of Stardom belt from Shuri. The dangerous queen was on top of the world, not the top kawaii of the cosmos. But this wouldn't last long. 115 days later, a beautiful song would occur. Tam Nakano would defeat Giulia and take away her precious World of Stardom title before Giulia could ever fulfill any of her worldly ambitions with it. This personal and professional loss shattered Giulia. The act caused her to declare to Tam Nakano that she would never forgive her. And Tam declared that if they never fight again, she would never forgive Giulia. They would fight again, but there would be no victor. Their rivalry ends as equals. Their song is finally over. No grandstand, no epic conclusion, just two wrestlers reaching the end of their road. Giulia would move on to the flower fields before making the journey to the west, while Tam Nakano would take the crown on top of the World of Stardom. Her road still has miles to go before it collides into the wall of fire caused by a fallen phoenix.
復讐とは決してまっすぐな道ではない。むしろ森だ。森の中では道に迷いやすい。自分の位置が分からずどこから来たかを忘れる。
A girl wanted to be an idol. She came so close to achieving her dreams. She entered the world of wrestling, inspired by an idol wrestler. But instead of following the idol's road, she flew with a red rose in love. She became a phoenix, golden in light, until the red rose left her withered, alone. Her family burned to the ground, deep despair, followed by delusion, till she fell from heaven, willingly so. The devil on her shoulder told her exactly what to do, and she did everything the devil asked, not with a smile, but with an ankabe. She failed to win the 5-star Grand Prix, falling to the power of the Empress Meiko, but would strike Tam Nakano at the end of the year, snatching the World of Stardom away from her. But she wasn't finished with her idol god. The devil would terrorize her at every moment, tracking her car with a GPS and running her over even. She would attempt to deceive the unicorn away with a whisper. And antagonize Tam toward her breaking point, throwing her life on the line. And Saya too would take that away from her. Saya Kamitani, the Phoenix Queen, the deceiver of the World of Stardom. She would succeed where others have failed. She would kill Tamu. And now we welcome the 9 Inch Nails, all the way from the Roadhouse in Twin Peaks, Washington, where the coffee is fresh, the pie is delicious, and the dreams are ever so weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Roadhouse is proud to welcome the 9 Inch Nails.
A little mouth opened up inside.
and the little fairy who goes, "Join Cosmic Angels." She didn't just betray her unit and start an arc that would culminate in Giulia and Tam Nakano's epic battles, but she would make Tam Nakano break a promise. The promise to never team with anyone since Arisa Hoshiki. That's how special this little fairy queen was. Their battle not only made Tam Nakano and herself that much stronger, but they also inspired each other to change the world. Through Natsupoi, Tam Nakano found a new mission to change Stardom for the better, and she found a new love to finally become Goddess of Stardom champions. They became Meltear. Tam Nakano and Natsupoi, the heavily teamed to spread hope across the world. Their epic battle wasn't the first time they encountered each other. They would first team back in 2016, the debut year of Tam Nakano into pro wrestling, where she would face Saori Anou and Emi Nishina in a losing effort. The lives of these three would be intertwined throughout their entire career, wrestling for the actress girls until Tam crossed the fog into the world of Stardom, while Natsupoi as Natsumi Maki would debut in the kingdom of TJPW, a cartoon world of goblins and creatures, while Saori Anou would venture around the world of Joshi. Their time together as goddesses would end far too early, and by the hands of Nanae Takahashi and Yu as well. Meltear's run was very reminiscent of a dream, happy and inspiring to see, but a fleeting one that would disappear the moment you wake up. The Goddess of Stardom dream ended for Meltear. Tam Nakano would only face Natsupoi one more time in the 5-Star Grand Prix 2023 in yet another victory over the top Karai of the Cosmos. Her strength would lead to a wondrous Stardom run where she was confronted by her past in a major aggressive and violent way. The toxic spider Tekla sought revenge for her betraying Donna Del Mondo. At the time, Tekla was silent but highly emotional in their final goodbye. Yet you can sense her understanding Natsupoi's motivations. But remember, Tekla isn't the forgiving spider. She's the toxic spider, and toxic she certainly is. She took this toxicity to the absolute extreme in Stardom, annoying a lot of people in the process. She may have understood Natsupoi's motivations that day, but she was the only one who never got over it. She had a moment of vulnerability and decided to make the world of Stardom pay for this. She'll bring in Clark Connors to break Natsupoi in half, and Connors like,
Clark Connors gets to break a bitch in half?
Which is such a weird thing to say, dude. You have that wife-beater face of a southern white dude in a Rob Zombie film, but he's actually from Washington, so get out of here. Tekla vs. Natsupoi wasn't a classic Wonder of Stardom match, but a fight. Tekla would use hate to cheat every chance she could with her Hot Topic goth spike gear or a baseball bat. Tekla was desperate to kill Poi, but Poi was so much stronger and technically proficient over the toxic spider and easily defeated her. Oh, Waka with her expert aim. That girl is Bullseye from Daredevil. What the hell is with that box? Poi would be like... She kicks that box away and beats up Tekla, but in a massive, desperate move, Tekla would appeal to her goodwill.
Cause she's hoping to score, so I can't see her letting him go.
Poi is someone who would forgive. Not just because she's a cute fairy that goes, but because she was the one who betrayed Tekla, not the other way around. She's at fault. Even if her intentions and desires were stronger and righteous to her own journey, she was the betrayer. But Poi doesn't forgive Tekla. She destroys her instead and hits her Fairio gift, then one more new Fairio gift just for Tekla, a Sky Twister Fairio gift that smushes the spider for the victory. Poi would finally rid herself of the sins of her past. She defeated Tekla, and in the act of seeking catharsis, Tekla could only go, fuck you. Poi would eventually lose the Wonder of Stardom, but this moment was a great moment in her career, as Poi did something that Tam Nakano rarely does. She confronted the actions of her past. That is, and Tam had no other choice but to handle her past. If only for the future of Stardom. The Phoenix Queen, Saya Kamitani, in her first defense of her newly acquired World of Stardom red belt against a crazy girl and former 5-star Grand Prix winner, someone so close to achieving the top of Stardom that she can practically see it. They feuded over feet. Quentin Tarantino!
I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. I see a line of cars and they are painted black, with flowers and my love both never to come back. I see people turn their heads and quickly look away. Like a newborn baby, it just happens every day. I look inside myself and see my heart is black. I see my red door, I must have it painted black. Maybe then I'll fade away and not have to face the facts. It's not easy facing up when your whole world is black.
And Quentin like...
Seriously, Quentin has separated more women from their shoes than the TSA. Gotcha.
Once upon a time, a unicorn was born into the world with a magical gift. She can make everyone love her. This rare breed of unicorn was an oil painter, and all would have loved her work, but instead she was invited to watch wrestling by a co-worker. She watched the World of Stardom for the first time and saw Giulia face Tam Nakano. It was their passion and fire which kindled the unicorn's own flames of ambition. On the train ride home, she decided, in her own little artist's brain, she will be a pro wrestler too. The unicorn wasn't physically athletic though. She wasn't able to keep up with all the other reindeer games, they who had martial arts or sports backgrounds. However, the unicorn wasn't sad. She realized something about herself that she wasn't aware of. She's competitive and stubborn. She would train alone when no one was watching, training to be stronger and never giving up, forcing herself to work extra hard just to keep up. She would debut with an adorable magical entrance and would be introduced to the world as Sayaka Kurara. Her debut opponent was a special talent of her own, one who was also inspired by the idolhood of Tam Nakano to become a pro wrestler, but also one who took her own path instead. The Golden Phoenix, Saya Kamitani. Sayaka was defeated, but was still shown kindness from the Phoenix, an act that would forever stay in the heart of Kurara, painting her a beautiful picture of a kindly Kamitani, and she would never believe in her eventual fall into darkness. Kurara would eventually be accepted by her inspiration, Tam Nakano, into Cosmic Angels. This Cosmic Angels was much different than before. Remember when I said how her portrayal caused ripples throughout Stardom? Well, Mina Shirakawa was once the number 2 of Cosmic Angels until Nutsboy came along. This bitterness would lead her into betraying Unagi Sayaka and eventually fight Tam Nakano, where she lost everything to her. Mina fans are still not over that one. Unagi Sayaka would leave Stardom altogether and become a freelancer and the hardest working woman in wrestling. The kind Waka Tsukiyama would also betray Tam Nakano, hurting her feelings the most by leaving to join with Mina. At her lowest point, the mysterious, stoic, ever stoic warrior with the icy cold stare would enter the picture to join Cosmic Angels. Saori Ano, the indomitable woman, best friends with Nutsboy, Tam Nakano's debut opponent, and quite powerful in her own right, along with Yuna Mizumori, the pineapple monster. Her codename is Unamon. She was born into the world of Gata Move, aka Choco Pro Wrestling, under the tutelage of the queen, Emi Sakura. She would use her colorful, bright antics to fill the void left by Unagi, while growing in strength and abilities. Finally, Aya Sakura, the martial arts warrior of the Angels, who has grown alongside Sayaka Kurara into a unique warrior. But Sayaka Kurara remains the magical one, a rare breed of wrestler whose entire existence of simply living creates an aura of likability, her magical gift to the world. For Tam, she saw natural idol tendencies in Kurara, despite her lacking any training. But more importantly, Tam Nakano was absolutely smitten by this magical unicorn. Kurara's magic worked the most on the cutest of the cosmos, who saw Kurara as the cutest apprentice in the world. She couldn't stop. She was so smitten that she had to absolutely smash her face in battle. Battle, Tam Nakano had to. She couldn't help it. Like most cute things, she had to have it. She had to form a new team with Sayaka Kurara. Together, they became Tokimeki Purin a la mode, complete with matchy outfits. They would enter the ring in beautiful veils and ritualistically unveil themselves to the world as partners. Their only run was in the Goddess of Stardom Tag League, where they would score 6 points. Sayaka Kurara wouldn't have much time to spend with her mentor, as the Dark Phoenix cloud blighted the light-in Cosmic Angels, and the target on Tam's back led to disaster. When Saya Kamitani fell from grace and burned the world down, there was one person who didn't believe her. Our magical unicorn. Anakin Skywalker is still in Darth Vader, but Vader is too busy deceiving everyone that she is the devil, until she actually became the devil. Kurara watched as Kamitani defeated Tam Nakano with the spinning Star Crusher, crushing the Cosmic Angels leader and snatching the world away from her. But Saya Kamitani wasn't satisfied with just taking a pro wrestling title away from Tam Nakano. She wanted to take everything from her. Her career, her life. She wanted to kill Tam. Sayaka Kurara would defend Tam Nakano in battle against Saya Kamitani, a tag team match where the winner is granted a wish. Kamitani desires the unicorn to be her own, to corrupt something so magical, so universally loved. To corrupt such a gift would be such a high sin. Yet Kamitani desired it all the same. But Tokimeki would score the victory, and Tam would challenge her former protege, she who had fallen so far, to a match with the highest stakes. Tam Nakano brought Kamitani into this world, so it is her responsibility. No, she is goddamn obligated to take her out of it. Tam Nakano versus Saya Kamitani. The loser must leave Stardom. Sayaka Kurara was there to watch as her mentor, her god, her idol, was defeated by the devil. But it wasn't enough for Kamitani. She wanted Tam to suffer to her last breath.
I seen the demons, but they didn't make a sound. They tried to reach me, but I lay upon the ground.
The unicorn watched the phoenix kill her leader. Not the phoenix of ancient lore, but the demon.
But I gave the runaround.
The devil played her for food. Unicorn's blood will make one immortal, but the unicorn explodes into a star.
Miles and miles of squares. Where's the feeling there? Still nobody cares. For miles and miles of squares.
could almost believe. But the fight of this unicorn inspired something in Kamitani. She wants Sayaka Carrara to stop trying to be someone else, and instead, just be herself. One day, she'll be on top of the world. But today, hell was still the hot topic of the season, and Carrara was damned like Tam. Tam Nakano always wanted to be an idol people looked toward for inspiration and hope. She would join the J-pop idol group Katamoni Joshi, which means shoulder rub girls. Why?
Why?
Because a massage parlor named Katamomi Joshi decided to better communicate their massage therapists with customers by forming an idol group because Japan. Tam used her real name, Giulia. Tam apparently had a rough time in this idol group, and a couple members would leave to form a new idol group in 2015. Info Mate.
皆さんこんにちは。こんにちは。
This group would barely last under a year before disbanding, leaving Tam Nakano without a family to be with until she joined the world of pro wrestling under the Actress Girls as a choreographer, where she watched a match against Natsumi Maki and Soriano. The match inspired Tam to join pro wrestling, and she was inspired by how much emotion they were able to give in the fight. She would debut in AWG against Soriano in a losing effort. But years later, in 2025, one of the last single matches of Tam Nakano's career was against Soriano, where she was able to finally defeat the woman she debuted against. But back in 2016, Tam was a fresh rookie and would end up meeting her future forever friends and cosmic angels, but would eventually have larger ambitions in the world of wrestling. She would start her early career in death matches, having earned her pyrotechnist license to blow people up. In 2017, Tam Nakano would leave to join Stardom, and Tam Road begins.
タムがいる限り、クリスがいる限り。時間がなくて、リーザーは本です。もうね、ジュリが勝つ。
是想開始呼吸。
Nakano succeeded in her dream. She became an idol. And more importantly, she became a symbol of inspiration to many, many people around the world. She has certainly dealt with others imitating her throughout her career too. Her radiance to inspire hope also had a side effect of a certain contagious cuteness that emits from the presence of Tam Nakano. Before I knew it, I was dancing to an unfamiliar landscape. As the twilight sinks, the stars float. 1, 2, 3, I hummed, dancing to my twilight dream. The moonlit road. I grabbed your hand, the crooked dancing dreams I had drawn of the map of a story I'd lost sight of. Far away. Continue on. My heart is fast. I reach out my trembling hand just once more. The moment we touch, it spread again. A secret dream. I'll try to trace it back, the fragments of that day. 1, 2, 3. I tell myself, a shooting star, a spell that grows stronger, vanishing in the wind. I'm sure you can fly. The map of an endless, never-ending future is incomplete. Let's look up to the blue and high of the past. Let's pick up and gather up the distant dreams we've lost. I'll swim through the starry sky and overtake them. I swear, in my left hand, the identity. Stardom dream you gave me. The stardom dream in Tam Nakano is hope. To ride Tam Road to the very end is to achieve those dreams. Tam Nakano's pure light is sure to attract beauty toward her family, a radiant contagion that exists within her. Tam has many good qualities. She truly represents the idea that one must believe in hope and goodness and you can achieve your dreams. She has proven that in her own arc as a pro wrestler. But this does not mean that Tam Nakano is the representation of perfection. She has moments where she can be deeply selfish and unconcerned with other people's feelings.
いやもう私すみれやなんかすごいみんなで皆さんで考えてくださって色分けしたじゃないですかマスク。これタムの色と同じだと思うんですけど。ちょっと薄いんじゃない？ああ、ちょっとこのとこ違う子だね。
And she's not the type to forgive. When she defeated Mina Shirakawa and took her white belt from her, she told Mina that this was it. They will never meet again. But Tam Nakano's attitude, mostly present during her frenemies arc with Arisa Hoshiki, is quite understandable. Tam was abandoned by her original family Oedo Tai and was given respite by Mayu Iwatani in Stars. However, she began feeling abandoned by Mayu as well and would decide to form her own family with Mina Shirakawa and Unagi as cosmic angels. But before this, she was abandoned by Saya Kamitani when she chose Utami and Queen's Quest, when she chose love over her. A perfectly understandable situation here too. The complexity of human interactions is why stardom relationships work really well and are naturally human in response. Tam Nakano's very human reaction to being abandoned and having past issues is to simply ignore the past. On metaphorical roads, one does not drive back. Tam Road is a one-way drive toward the end, and she never looked back. But sometimes, she had to. Tam Nakano's influence led to a contagion that infected stardom wrestlers with a bout of cuteness, but specifically, a Tamu virus of Tam mimicry. Tamimicry. While a simple fun side quest for hilarious adorable moments like Saki Nakano or the infamous Utami Nakano, there was a patient zero. someone who was first infected by the contagion and experienced the virus in its most extreme. This person forgot her real name and truly believed she was Tam Nakano. Meet Nao Ishikawa, who came into stardom as Tam Nakano, but wait, this is Tam Nakano. But that's Tam Nakano. Well then Tam Nakano must die, so Tam Nakano will kill Tam Nakano, goddammit! Right? Not so, boy?
Fine.
Tam Nakano seeing a Tam Nakano in front of her means she must eliminate this sham Nakano and go slam Nakano. But why? Why? Beyond it being wrestling and that's how wrestling works, this Tam Nakano is a mirror to Tam Nakano. She's acting like how people perceive her to be. Adorable, but very, very silly and outrageous and over the top about it. Beyond Tam Nakano not wanting to live in the past, she probably doesn't want to see her reflection like this either. Tam Nakano sees herself as the leader of cosmic angels, with a dream to follow that shooting star at the end of Tam Road. She doesn't have time to look into the past, to see that the conflicts with Mina Shirakawa was something preventable, to see her conflicts with Mai Iwatani remaining unsolved, to simply not being there for Saya Kamitani when she debuted in Stardom, despite being the one who brought her into the world, and then being shocked and disturbed when she didn't join her unit. Tam Nakano used to carry around a stuffed panda named Producer P, so I think we all know the answer to this question. Is Tam Nakano delusional? What goes on in that head? What dreams pass her by daily? Tam Nakano soundly defeated Tam Nakano. And while this was a silly side quest with the mimic Nao Ishikawa, symbolically, this was the fight against the shadow self. All the negatives that Tam may possess was solidly defeated by her. Tam doesn't confront the past. That's not how roads work. Even her retirement wasn't a parade of past encounters or fading away with her two friends in Poi and Ano, who she started her career with. That's simply not how Tam Nakano operates. She's a symbol for hope after all. Hope is all about the future, and you do not turn around on Tam Road. You keep on driving and driving until she became a shooting star. Now make a wish, my dear friends. Make a glorious wish and believe. That was Julie Cruz's classic hit from the cult show Twin Peaks, from the late great auteur of the world and my maestro, David Lynch, as well as Mark Frost, whose contributions shouldn't be understated in building Twin Peaks' mythology. We have one more segment for the show before we say adieu. This has been Meerkat Ultra Radio. Enjoy your night, folks. Say hello to Lily Chow Chow. One of Tam Nakano's lowest points in her career happened in 2024, the 5-star Grand Prix, where Tam Nakano's knee troubles, the very injury that caused her to vacate the world of Stardom, led to catastrophic results in the annual round-robin tournament. Tam would not win a single match in the tournament, ending with 0 points. The worst possible outcome. On the other end of the units, the legacy group of rebels, Oedo Tai, rebranded themselves as Harass, Abuse, Terrorize, Eradicate, aka Hate. Saya Kamitani deceived the Empress Meiko and cost her the World of Stardom title to Natsuko Tora. Tora decided to take a back seat in the 5-star and instead focus on her next prey. Rather than uphold the values of the World of Stardom title and challenge the strongest players, Natsuko Tora sends the weakest opponent in the field and someone the group can further embarrass. Tam Nakano. Tam was harassed by the very family she was once a part of and have since evolved into a far evil version of Tora at the helm. But this was Natsuko Tora's pride speaking, her hubris, and her fullest decision to strike someone like Tam Nakano at her weakest. Tam Nakano had the lore documents to feed off of it emotionally. She never lost the World of Stardom title, a title she'd loved so much she cradled it like a child. all because of her injury, and it's this very injury that has been keeping her down. She had to overcome this more than she did with Natsuko Tora. The hubris of Tora led to an early, embarrassing title run with no defenses and losing to a one-legged woman. Tam Cena, people, but no. Tam Nakano was world champion, and her next challenger would be the winner of the 5-star Grand Prix. The Empress Meiko went undefeated in the entire tournament and defeated the Phoenix Queen Saya Kamitani to become the winner. Normally, the rights to challenge the champion culminates at the end of the year Dream Queendom, but Meiko had all the momentum on her side and a strong motivation to kill Tamu. Meiko has never defeated Tam in a singles match, so why wait? The Empress is at her most powerful. She was robbed of her title and it fueled her that much more. Plus Okada wanted to sell more tickets. She just has to finally defeat Tam. Early in the match, Tam would injure her knee again. She couldn't even do her passionate run down the ramp without failing, yet she still gives it her all. The definition of her career. Every time, she would crawl to stop Meiko and be punished for it, but Tam's fight wouldn't quit. Meiko couldn't put it away with the Michinoku driver. She attempted the wrist clutch variation, but Tam would force a violent screwdriver and Meiko nearly got the victory. She would power into her final form and hit the violent screwdriver with the tippy toes, and Meiko would beast out of it at a 1 count. Yet couldn't stop the barrage of kicks and knee attacks as Tam overcame her knee issues again to lift Meiko in the Twilight Dream. Meiko's disappointing loss means that she will never get a chance to defeat Tam ever again. But she's in good spirits still, and Tam is cute. Tam Nakano was solidly the top of Stardom. Before her past came knocking again, she would have to face violence in the eyes of a crazy girl.
See these eyes so green, I can stare for 1,000 years, colder than the moon. It's been so long, and I've been putting out fire with gasoline. See these eyes so red, red like jungle burning bright. Those who feel me near will look lines and change their minds. It's been so long.
Was victorious against the Insane One, who would eventually spiral on her own group and commit ultra-violence to a May Goblin. But for now, she has to accept the loss to Tam, who was now ready to face her past again, for the Dream Queendom was nearing the end of the year show to close off arcs and have epic matches. Her opponent, Saya Kamitani, the Phoenix Queen, the betrayer of Meiko. Saya Kamitani has already overcome Tam Road when she defeated her for the Wonder of Stardom and then defended it against her in her 4th defense. She had nothing to prove to her anymore, just that precious title she held. Yet still, this wasn't enough. Their battle was epic and violent. Saya Kamitani would try to hang Tam Nakano and then dive off in the very dive that she injured her wing in against Tam Nakano. In the end of their battle, once again, that golden phoenix shined through her and she attempted to reach the heavens again. But the Phoenix was deceived. She cannot return to heaven, and every time she tried, she was punished harshly for it. Yet this time, the Phoenix Queen let the devil fully out, and she deceived everyone with the extent of her injuries. She appealed to the kindness of Tam Nakano, who already witnessed Saya injure herself before. Tam would try to fight back, but it was too late. Saya Kamitani was in control and defeated Tam Nakano with the Star Crusher to become the World of Stardom champion. To make Tam suffer even more, she made her wrap the title around her waist, just like she proudly did before with the white belt. Now the devil wears red, and Tam was the one who put it on her. Saya Kamitani should have been satisfied with this win. Finally, she can be what she always said she was. She is Stardom, but the devil cannot be satiated so easy. The devil wanted Tam's soul. Tam Nakano would fight back against Kamitani, and with her Tokimeki Unicorn as her Pokemon, she defeated Saya Kamitani and Natsuko Tora in battle. Through this, Tam Nakano made the ultimate challenge to Saya Kamitani. Korakuen Hall, Tam versus Saya. Loser leaves Stardom. Tam Nakano must deal with her rival, the very rival she brought into the world of Stardom. But Tam fell under the same curse against Kamitani. She hasn't been able to defeat Saya since 2021 when she defended her Wonder of Stardom against the Cinderella Phoenix. That's 6 defeats in a row against Saya. And on her 7th defeat, the same number of Wonder of Stardom title matches that Tam Nakano attempted to have, Saya Kamitani would seemingly have doubts. She didn't pin her right away. Instead, she set her up to kill a god. But do I kill Tamu? She screams her angst out and hits the Kamigoye, defeating Tam Nakano and forcing her to leave Stardom. While Blue Boy cries, Tam leaves with her 2 career friends in utter defeat. But Saya Kamitani had her doubts again. That young idol trainee who was inspired by Tam Nakano, who wanted to be an idol like her, cannot let her go. Perhaps out of penance, or perhaps out of sadism. Saya Kamitani offers Tam Nakano one final shot at glory. Tam Nakano, the freelancer, versus the World of Stardom champion Saya Kamitani. All Star Grand Queendom, the biggest, largest event in Stardom history. One more match, the final match for their careers. I say penance because perhaps Saya Kamitani is giving Tam Nakano one last bit of hope, maybe out of respect, or perhaps the little girl in Saya wants it all to end. She isn't an evil devil wanting to bring hate to the world. She is deceiving herself. This is Saya Kamitani. This is actually her.
コーチ2025はこの後午後7時ゴングで
いつ殴られるのかなと思って買ったこれ。
殴んない。悔しいですよ。わかります。気になって知らないですよ全然。
So she gives Tam this final chance. Perhaps her creator can save her. Or perhaps the devil whispered in her ear again. And Saya once again listened when he said, "Don't just take her Stardom career. Take her life." The final stage was set. Tam Nakano lit like heaven itself, a true cosmic angel, beautiful, glorious, the final point, and that smile. Saya Kamitani, the devil herself, the Phoenix Queen in full focus with an entrance that is as magical as anything Stardom has produced. They had many throwbacks to their match catalog, and it was epic in scope, a spectacle of the violent vengeance and hate these two have for each other. The grandest main event in Stardom in front of their largest crowd. Tam's dream has come true. She has become the symbol of inspiration and has become the top of Stardom to influence and spread her hope for all to believe. She has reached her end destination in Tam Road, a match with Saya Kamitani, and how beautiful and ironic is it that the motivations of Tam Nakano was to inspire many, and the one she inspired was the one who killed her career in the end. The moment she started to drive onto Tam Road, she was always destined to meet her end. Yet she did it anyways. She did it anyways, and she achieved the highest honors. They would trade everything they have in their arsenal. They fought harder than they've ever fought before. The emotions flared, and Saya Kamitani attempted to reach heaven, but was once again denied entry because she is blocked from ever returning. It was a war worthy of the world of Stardom. Saya Kamitani would have the final look at her creator, knowing this would be the final time she would look at her face and would kill her god with the Kamigoye. But it's not enough for the devil to kill God. She must tarnish everything about her by using her own finishing move, the Twilight Dream. And with this, Saya Kamitani has ended Tam Nakano's Stardom dream. Tam Nakano's career ends in a beautiful, epic tragedy by the very hands of the woman she brought into this world, and by the very move she used to win championships. She didn't have a beautiful parade, a beautiful montage of her career. She had a murder. Saya Kamitani has completed her highest sin and killed the angels of the cosmos. She listened to her devil willingly, but her face says otherwise. The Phoenix awaits in penance to one day return to heaven. But the Phoenix has been deceived. She would never return to heaven. She took a crown instead. To be queen. Queen of what? Queen of Stardom. But at what cost? She had to kill her creator. Despite residing in the darkest depths of life, there is still hope. Tam Nakano is the symbol of hope after all. She led many down Tam Road for this very reason, to inspire. They leave together and spend the final moment to look out upon the world of Stardom, the world Tam fought her entire career for. As the feathers float down upon them, they look upon their hard work, the fruits of their labor, their emotions at the all-time highest. But Tam can stop fighting now. The dream is over. It's time to finally wake up and enjoy the rest of life. While Saya Kamitani has a glimmer of hope left in her. For the young girl who wanted to be an idol, who grew wings of her own and became a phoenix. She just has to believe that perhaps one day she'll fly again. And in the final moments, Tam Nakano, the young woman who wanted to be an idol to inspire all who watched her. She sees the shooting star, but she's not alone. So does Saya. Tam will always live. You just have to do one thing. Just one thing. Believe.
All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray, I've been for a walk on a winter's day. I'd be safe and warm if I was in LA. California dreaming on such a winter's day.
人生を9点払うだもんで緊急禁止で明らかもんで反則異次元このようなもんではないです無理ゲーそれ着てないでえいライバル口を揃えてライバル口を揃えてまぐれまぐれ認めね絶対マジでこれはもう全部生身で Come on STARDOM All Star It's not me It's not me Yeah 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 ブリンバンバンブリンバンバンボンブリンバンバンブリンバンバンボン実力を発揮しきる前に相手の方がまくれてクラッシュ上がりきるハードルベリーハッピー明らかにダントツでピカイチ
相変わらず脱皮してる前に誰の七光もいらないお前の愛しより愛し俺パッと見できないことばっかりだけどベリーハッピー呆れてる周り恵まれてる家族友達もう反則絶対ちちみな俺に負けしときまい教科書にない問題しねえ超発のバズの
リスン鏡